Black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody.
We are in a state of emergency. Prejudice. Well, the song about it, like the hit, here it go. Free your mind.
Black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody with me. Black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody with me. Like that the king, we make you claim yourself. We put it down and take fire and RealityTemple.
Peace, and knowledge. I'm so Sista J. I'm so Sista D. And I just wanted to say thank you for all the people who helped to the medical fundraiser for my uncle Taalik. And it has meant so much to us that you would help, because without you guys, his life would not be possible and we would not be with him today right now. And I just want to say, for all of you that helped and that donated, I would really like to give a big thanks. And I hope I can meet you one day and say thank you in person. I love you guys. And
It's calling when I get ready to go.
Free your mind. No, you're never gonna get it. You're never gonna get it.
We want to make sure that we're not just working to be first, but we're working to be right. A lot of times there are situations when things are just happening so fast. It's always important to be fast, but we always want to be right.
I ordered this book, God is on Trial. I ordered this book from Amazon, and I must say I've read it. It's very well written, very thought provoking. And so, sisters and brothers like Alberta Parrish, again, God is on trial. It is a provocative, thought provoking, very real and honest point of view regarding the gods of major religions or of Abrahamic religions, and why those of us who follow these belief systems should be asking the same kind of questions instead of just blindly accepting and following. Everybody who is black and interested in black people, let us sit down and find out how we can get together in one direction against one enemy and accomplish this job overnight.
This is Dusty Basement Studios, and we approve of this message.
Message. Hey, my brother, you know I had to call you and thank you personally again. I cannot describe to you how happy I was to meet you in person, finally. That was just like amazing.
Come on now.
We will not be defeated by witch doctors' illusions.
To ring out in perfect harmony, Terry Ellis becomes the first of the divas to offer the world her singular sound. And she does just that on Southern Cat.
of black people. It's all about the unity. Nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody.
In a state of emergency. Tragedy. What was shown about it? Like the hit? Here it goes. Free your mind. Because I keeps it real like that. I keep it real.
In the name of our ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what we call the RealitysTemple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper or the host of this program, known here on social media. Wherever you may find me, I am known as the mighty Angel Snub Nub 7. I am your soul brother. Number one. Of course, I always say this. It is not the intent for me to be talking an hour or so. That's not my intent. I should be able to make what I say plain, simple, and clear within the next at least maybe 20 minutes. But of course, I don't dictate time, and we can go on an hour or whatever, but that's not my intent. I want to respond. I want to reply or answer a question or a concern from a person, which this was not the first time I have heard this. I'm very, very sure that you have not, you've heard this also. The question or concern from some persons, and they ask us, why are y'all always painting black men in a negative light? What inspired me to talk about this, I was listening to an early morning conversation between our Sister Noble and Sister Karen. And this question was raised to them. Why are y'all always painting black men in a negative light? I don't know, Deacon. I don't know if it's going to be a great subject, but we're going to talk about it. Now, for them, they replied, there are some good brothers. There are some good fathers. So from Sister Noble and Sister Karen, the black gender, the black male gender, we get mercy. But from me, you get no mercy. And I am a male, and I am a man myself. That is precisely the problem. Is that you've had too much compassion, you've had too much mercy, you've had too much empathy, and now you're a bunch of sissies. I say, just like the deacons say, I say none. There are no men. There are no good fathers. And if you don't like that, take your crying happy ass on to somebody who can cuddle you. They can put a titty in your mouth. You go there. You get no titty here. You get no mercy here. You get no empathy or compassion here. You get none. And you would think, from how Sister Karen and Sister Noble speak, you would think that we would get none. But they give you some mercy. They give you some slack. I give you none. I give you none. When you earn the title of being a man, I would give it to you. When you qualify, I would give that to you. Until then, you get none. Well, that's not fair. That's not fair. All of us are not the same. My daddy is a good daddy. There are good men. My grandfather was a good man. If he was a good man, and if we have good men among us, then why aren't you in your good nation? Where are your good resources? Where are your nuclear weapons? Where is your baby food? Since y'all love to make babies so much, where's your baby food, your baby shoes, your baby seats? The cars that you make, you're good men. Until all the men are good, we are no good. You can try to take yourself out of the equation to make yourself feel better. It does not change the reality. Because when the world looks at us, they look at us as a whole. They don't distinguish the good from the bad. There is none. Some of you like talking about the white man. The white man is the devil. You put all the white men in the same category, even though many of them did not own slaves. Many of them wasn't a participant in the slave trade, except they were part of the general monetary economic system of the world. But you don't care. The white man's the devil. And I don't care what good acts the white man do. You want to put all the white men in the same category. But now it's your turn to be in this pitiful, pathetic category, and you don't like it. You want to be distinguished. You want to be taken out of the equation. Well, what's good for the goose? What is good for the gander? What is good for justice is good for. So if the white man's the devil, you are not a man, because we as a gender have not proven and we have not earned or qualified to be called men. None. So you can go to Sister Noble and you can go to Sister Karen and you can get some mercy. I'm not giving you no mercy. Period. You're not men. Our gender is not men. We're pitiful and pathetic losers. And if you can't handle that reality, that goes to show you're not a man. Yes, I don't like it. But that's the reality. I have to accept it. I'm not going to take myself out of the gender. Oh, I'm not like them. If them is like that, then it makes no difference about what I do or what I say. If it was up to me, we would be out of this horrid condition like it never happened overnight. But I don't control them. And them makes me look bad. So I'm going to have to show them and talk about them. Because y'all got them like they are operating like they're full functioning males. And they're not. I say none. I say none. I say none. This cuddling, this babyfying, this spoiling these men, it has to come to an end. And I'm done. I remember as a young FOI, a young fruit of Islam, I used to knock on doors, going from house to house. I'm a man. I'm a FOI. Judge Joe Brown is not a man. So he needs to take his own advice. But Judge Joe Brown is old. And he's closer to the door of death. So he really has no concern. What does Judge Brown, what does he consider man up? Pay your bills. Make your babies. Pay your child support. Be a good American citizen. You don't hear Judge Joe Brown talking about, I want my own nation. You don't hear Judge Brown talk about, I want to control the water. I want to control the resources. I want to control my destiny. I want to make my own laws. I want my own policy. Judge Joe Brown talks about man up because he got a good job. Because he's learned how to be comfortable in the society by other men. And if he was a man, he would not tolerate that. What does Judge Brown know? He's a comfortable Pharaoh slave. What the hell does Judge Brown know about manning up. Because you take care of your children. You shouldn't have had the damn children to begin with. You bringing them into a hostile environment. You created no nest for them. You are putting your babies in the house of your enemy. That's the same thing. That's the same thing like a chicken laying eggs with foxes. What chicken is stupid enough to lay eggs in the house of the fox, and foxes eat eggs and chicken? But this is the man training that you get from Judge Joe Brown, because he's not a man. He's a comfortable slave. We're called men because we was born with a penis. If we was born with a vagina, they would call us women. But we don't qualify to be full functioning men or full functioning women. We're nothing but slaves on the plantation, just some loose rabbits that got out the cage, running around trying to figure what we need to do. I say none. So I am a young FOI, and I knocked on this young, older woman's door, and I was selling her the newspaper. I was 18 or 19 years old. And the newspaper costs $1.
Hey, bro. Hey, I'm not gonna be able to do this because I gotta be in school.
I catch you. I'm doing it live. Okay.
Huh?
And
I can't.
And I was telling her about the great things that the Nation of Islam would do. And I took her $1. I don't know how many years ago. I would say that was 1982, something like that. I was taught in the Nation of Islam that your word is bond and bond is life. And you will give your life before your word shall fail. I don't know. I would assume, I would have guessed, since that was an older lady in the 1980s, she is no longer here with us. But I told her about what we gonna do as men in the community. We give our word. Our word is our bond. We give our life before our bond, before our word shall fail. Now, listen. This is what makes me so upset, and the way I feel about this male gender, this black male gender. We did nothing for the community. We sent all our money to Chicago so Louis Farrakhan can look good. So he can buy Myron and show off, and he can wear all these pretty clothes and have this big, pretty mosque to teach. And we failed our elder that gave me her last $1 because she believed what I said. We're going to do this for the community. That was 1980, 82, 81. Until this day, this man that gave his word, what we're going to do, have yet to do anything. But guess who stepped up to the plate in the neighborhood? The white man did. There was a group of white investors come in to the neighborhood, and they decided to take a gamble. They knew it was a lot of money to be made, but at the same time, they did not want their businesses to go up in flames. They had a lot of concerns with crime and all this. But they decided to go ahead and take a chance. So the white man and his money come in, who did not give that older lady their word to do a damn thing. And now the community is thriving. The community got a lot going on. But the black man failed and continues to fail all over this country. And we keep making excuses for failure. We keep making excuses for incompetence. So during that time, I heard people say of how give the brothers a chance because the white man is so hard on us. Are you listening to what I say? Okay. That's true. Give him a chance. And we keep making these excuses for failure and incompetence. Can we understand racism? We understand the discrimination. We understand all these things in the society that's against the poor black man. He's the endangered species. When I go out in my community, the black man is the endangered species. Well, why do I see a black man in the north? I see the black man in the south. I see the black man in the east and the west. Why every time I turn around, one of my relatives spitting out a black man? But we're some endangered species. The excuse making has got to stop. These women, you cuddle these brothers and you accept their excuses. You accept their failures. You won't hold them accountable for nothing. And you spread your legs for men who don't deserve a baby. You keep spreading your legs for men who don't deserve sex at all. There are tribes. There are cultures. Unless you pass manhood training, you cannot have a woman, you cannot have sex. If this American black male had to go through something like that, you would be an endangered species. You're weak and pathetic and pitiful. A bunch of crybabies. Just the fact that you would even raise. Why are y'all always painting black men negative? That goes to show you how weak and pathetic and pitiful you are. Crybabies. Nobody is painting you negative. You're doing it to yourself. You produce nothing. Your manhood is in your drawers. The only way you feel like a man is how many babies you can make, how many women you can exploit, how many women you can trick. That's your legacy. That's your manhood. You have no power. You don't want any power. But you want the same honor and you want the same respect that other men get, but you don't want to earn it. You beat up on the black woman physically and verbally, and your children and your dog Spot. That's the only way you feel like a man, by beating up your own family. By telling Angel Snub 7, oh, Mississippi campaign is a pipe dream. That's the only way you can feel like a man. Because you have nothing. You get angry at me because I'm the man in the mirror, because these women that you beat up, they would give you a break and cuddle you. And they allow you to be a loser. And you accept being a loser. It's so hard out here. It's so hard out here. As long as somebody gives something to you. You talk about the white man, but if the white man stop taking care of you, you'll fall apart. Jay-Z wouldn't know how to survive. Will Smith wouldn't know how to survive. Denzel Washington, all these people, Bill Cosby, all these Negroes that y'all put on these pedestals, Louis Farrakhan. If you take the white man out the equation, Jesse Jackson and young Pharaoh and Sonetta, you take the white man out of the equation and all of them will fall. All of them will fall. Because the only reason why they can stand is because the white man allowed them to stand. They have not built no foundation. They've done nothing for themselves. Nothing. The only reason why you can talk about Pan-Africanism is because the white man holds your happy ass up. You have nothing to hold you up, yourself up. The reason why you can be a Christian or a Hebrew Israelite is because the white man allow you to do that. But you want somebody to call you a man and give you credit, and you've done nothing to earn it. And you're too high and mighty, and you're too arrogant to even say, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. You don't want to take any advice. And you keep being a loser because these women support you being a damn loser. Oh, some men is all right. If those some men is so right, if those men is different from everybody else, well, why aren't those good men, why aren't they unifying so they can show us how things need to be done? But they're not. This good man is over here doing his good ass stuff. This good man over here doing that because they're all the same. Do you listen to me? All of them are corrupt. There are no good men. Put it back on the screen. None. You're tricked and you're bamboozled. Because the good men have enough sense to recognize other good men, and they come together to make the wrong right. That's what the good men do, but they don't. I've tried to contact a lot of y'all so-called good men. They're not good as you think. They out for themselves, looking for slaves for their plantation. They want honor, they want respect, they want your money, just like the rest of the suckers do. You keep falling for the old okie doke. Maybe they are not as bad as the black manosphere is, but they're bad. They don't mess with Angel Snub Nub 7 because I know who they are. And I tell them, get behind me, Satan. I stand for us. I'm not looking for glory. I'm not looking for your praise. I'm out of hell. And I know what to do to get the job done. They don't. And because they don't know what to do, they would like to get the credit. They're too high and mighty to join that which can solve the problem. Because if you solve the problem, what is it they're going to do? The reason why they thrive on YouTube is because we have a problem. If you take the problem away, what they're going to do? Thank you. Thank you. Your Sister Ann. See, they don't fool me. There's none. See, actions speak louder than words. See, you are impressed by people that can smile and people with certain words. That's nice. But you have to examine the actions of people, and your good men do not express appropriate action. No, they might not call you a whore. They might not call you a bitch and all these type of stuff. They are not what you think they are. They're no better than the black manosphere is. Because good men gravitate to good men. And good men set out to right the wrongs, to be the example, to work together to change the condition once and for all. I'm not talking about 20 years from now, 30 years from now. We gonna deal with this now. We nipping this, well, we can't nip it in the bud. It's 400 years long. We gonna stop this now. On our shift. I say none. Now, why are y'all always painting black men negative? You black men paint themselves negative because everything that you do is negative. Everything you do, you fail. And then you want somebody to cuddle you. Oh, little baby, it's all right. The white man messing you up. I'm sick of it. I can't do it no more. If we were a unified people in this country, the so-called American Negro, soul brothers and sisters, we get over $1 trillion out of this economy every year. If you sisters, children, little girl, little boy, I want you to listen to me. If your father was a father if you really had men around you, they should be able to take that $1 trillion and take us out of this condition that we're in. Nothing is happening because you don't have any men. None. None of them are good. None. I'm not going to mention any names. I could, because they are called good men. They're not. They're not. Some of these good, so-called good men, I have tried to talk to them and contact them. They're not. They're not what you think. Absolutely, Deacon. None. Do you think it makes me feel good to talk about my gender? Because I could get on the same bandwagon. Oh, the black man, it takes time, and the white man, and blah, blah, blah. I already done that. Done that for over 40 years. How much time do you need? You keep spreading your legs, making babies for these men. And they don't have to earn nothing. They don't have to give us nothing. Only thing they have to do is put on a show. That's all they have to do for you, is put on a show. Like a peacock. Spread his feathers, wiggle his hips, take out his ding-a-ling and swing it around. Ooh, child. I wonder if he can work that ding-a-ling the way he's just swinging that. The way he's swinging that ding-a-ling. Oh yeah, baby, I can. That's all we are. I look at television, I look at YouTube, I look at us in general society, and that's all the black man is a big penis. Run around swinging your ding-a-ling. Excuse me, I didn't mean to hit you in the face with it. That's all we are. Everything about black manhood gravitates around our penis. Nothing but, that's all. We have nothing else to offer society. We have nothing else to offer ourselves. But I understand that because that's all you got on the slave plantation. Because the slave master took everything away from us. So the only thing you had left was your penis and your vagina. And you start playing with yourself. And nothing has changed. Brag about what you can do with your penis. Man, I can tear that booty up. I can stay a whole week in bed, never stop. No nuclear weapons. You make no laws, no power. You don't grow any food. You raise no cows, no chickens. You make no electricity, but you got a big ding-a-ling. I don't know if you're swinging hard enough. Why don't you put a generator on it? Maybe produce something for you. hey, put some, since y'all love to have sex, you're so sexed up the way you are, why don't you put some of them wires on your ding-a-ling and on your putty tat, and maybe you hump enough, maybe you can light up your house or something. But that's all we are. And this is acceptable. Why y'all always painting the black man negative? No, you paint yourself. Has nothing to do with nobody else. You get over $1 trillion out of the economy every year. You have all kinds of degrees on the wall. You was taught by Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, Neely Fuller Jr., Francis Cress Wilson, Marcus Garvey. You've been taught by Dr. King, Malcolm X. You've had the greatest teachers ever. And your condition does not change. Why is that? Why is that? You need to ask yourself. You got all this education. You have all this supreme wisdom, all this knowledge, and your condition is not changing. All that don't mean anything when you don't have your manhood. It doesn't mean anything. You don't know how to use your brain. You keep talking about what somebody did in 1930, 1845, or whatever. Similar circumstance, but the same way those people use their brain to try to solve their problem, you need to use yours. Just because it worked for them don't mean it's going to work for you. But a man knows that. But you're not a man, you're a boy. So you got to go find you some kind of daddy. You got to reach out to God. You got to reach out to Marcus Garvey or some dead person in the past to show you what you need to do because you don't know how to use your brain. You need some parent. You need something to follow. But a man's supposed to be a leader. What would you do if you didn't have Marcus Garvey to follow? Or Malcolm X? Or Dr. King? Or Harriet Tubman? Or Fannie Lou Hamer? What would you do if you didn't have nobody in the past? And even though you have all this knowledge, you still don't get nowhere. Why y'all always painting black men negative? No, you doing it to yourself. Because you're incompetent. You're a bunch of losers. You want to go somewhere where somebody can cuddle you. I will say this in conclusion. Do you have a bachelor's degree on the wall? Did you graduate from the police academy? Do you have your doctor's degree? Did you just get a promotion on your job? Did you go from the 3rd grade to the 5th grade? Why did you do that? Because you earned it. You had to pass the test. You didn't go to the 5th grade, from the 3rd to the 5th grade. You had to qualify. You had to pass tests. You had to go to the police academy to be a police officer. You had to go to 10, 12 years of school to be a heart surgeon. You had to earn it. But being a black man in America, you don't have to earn nothing. You can get all the putty tang you want. All you have to do is look cute. Swing your ding-a-ling around and brag about your job. Or you got a connection to God. And that's all it takes for you to get a woman in American society. You don't have to give her a nation. You don't have to produce nothing. You don't have to grow any food. Everything that you get comes from another man. And she accepts you. She cuddle you. Some of the black men, some of them are good. No, none of them. They fool you. They don't fool me. Don't you understand? Don't you realize it will soon be 100 years since the Civil Rights Movement? In about 30, 40 years, it will be 100 years after the Civil Rights Movement. What have your men done for you lately? Like they said, talk soul to me. They're doing nothing. 100 years. It's going to be 100 years in about 30 years or less after the Civil Rights Movement. What have your men done? The only thing your men have done is try to get comfortable and live good and try to be and act like the white man. That's the only thing they've done. That's the only thing they've done. I don't care if they Pan-African. I don't care if they Hebrew Israelite. I don't care if they Muslims. I don't care what these men call themselves. They've accomplished nothing since the Civil Rights Movement. And since their woman, since their children, you accept failure, that's all you're going to get. And these little boys that's coming up, they're going to accept that too, because they're going to believe that's what a man's supposed to do. And so when the little boy's little, he starts swinging his ding-a-ling around. When he's little, he's swinging already. Because that's all a black man in America, that's all you got to do. And sing, and dance, and rap. And be a good teacher of black power speech. That's all a young black man got to do. And throw a football, a basketball. He don't have to do much to get some putty tang. You do know that you're on your way to extinction. You do know that, right? But like Minister Farrakhan always say, Minister Farrakhan say, since you're no good on top of the ground, maybe you do better under the ground. You're on your way to extinction. Because you have no man that's going to stop it. You're going to swing your big ding-a-ling all the way into extinction. No, the black man or dark-skinned, African melanated people, whatever you want to call, no, they're not going to go extinct no time soon. But this American black people, you're going to go extinct. You're on your way to extinction. And maybe that's a good thing. You don't have to. Because the heavens, or just time, you've been given the tools, everything that you need to put yourself in a better place. But because you have a slave mindset, you don't recognize. The only thing you recognize is your penis and your vagina. You can go on YouTube or Facebook and you will see our conversations. We want to suck penis, lick vagina. We're nasty and we're vulgar and we're disgusting. And we talk about Babylon. We are Babylon. We are a product of Babylon. So if Babylon the Great is falling, you going right along with her because you are Babylon. You have an opportunity to separate yourself, but you're part of it. See, the deacon, we are the lowest form of man. See, the deacon can accept the reality of things. Most of us that come here, we can accept the reality of things. It is what it is. We don't have to be that way. We can change things. But there are those who love Babylon and they are part of Babylon. They just want to put on a show like they want different, and they don't. Just like when Lot's family, not to look back when this God was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. Don't you look back. Y'all roll out. Don't look back. But Lot's wife, there was something about Sodom and Gomorrah, even though God himself hated Sodom and Gomorrah, there was something in Sodom and Gomorrah that Lot's wife liked. And when she turned and looked, according to the religious teaching scriptures, she was turned into a pillar of salt. What a lot of these people don't want to confess, what they don't want to admit, there is things here that they love. There are many things that the white man do, the white man say, or this society in general, civilization, certain things they like. But I base this ministry on this that also comes from religious teachings. It says that the God's intent is to create a new heaven and a new earth, and the former things shall pass away. And that's what y'all don't like. In order to bring in a new world, you got to get rid of everything of the old world. And that's what you don't like. Because your Pan-African stuff is of the old world. Your Kemetic, your Black First, all that stuff is part of the old world. And in order to bring in a new world, the former things must pass away. Because in the new world, you don't need it. In the new world, you don't need it. But there's something in that old world that you love and you can't let go. So as the old world starts going out and a new world starts going in, you're on the Titanic. And as the Titanic begins to sink, you sink with it. And that's why you can't progress, because you're in love with all this. So when this die, you die. But if you had a man, if you had a Superman, because that's what we need right now, we need a Superman. Get your head off your ding-a-ling. That's the wrong head to be using. Stop thinking about women's panties all the damn time. Getting drunk, getting high, getting the knowledge, because the knowledge that you're getting is not doing nothing for you. It's blowing your head up, but it's not changing your condition. You need to re-examine and evaluate, reanalyze, re-examine. Step up to the plate and be a man. But you a boy waiting on some parent to come bail you out. You waiting on some mystery, some God in the sky. But even in your religious teachings, it says God helped those who help themselves. That's what it says. And if you're children of God, then why aren't you expressing yourself as a God? How long are you going to stay a child? When are you going to become the adults of God? I will always be my mother's child, but I'm an adult. And my mother will respect me as an adult. How long will the children of God remain children and you never grow up? I say to you, and of course, they will not listen to me because I'm stupid. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I'm telling you, the path that you continue to walk is a path to your extinction. And believe it or not, there are those on death row, when it's time for their execution, they feel pretty good. They're in a good mood. They feel happy. Many of you think when people are put on death row and it's time for execution, you think a lot of people are scared. And no, a lot of people, they just accept, hey, it's my time to go. Give me my last meal. Let's do this. And that's what you're doing. You ready to die. Swing your ding-a-ling with your reefer in your mouth, with all your Pan-African words and Kemetic and huffing and puffing, and you're going to die a happy one. Bye-bye. You wasn't no good on top of the ground. Maybe you do better under the ground. With that said, thank you for listening. Jot down your comments. Thank you, everybody in the chat room, those who are listening and those who will be listening to this broadcast later on. Support our platform. Check out the description box. Support our platform. And this was a spontaneous topic. This was a spontaneous topic, and I was inspired by listening to our Sister Noble and Sister Karen. And they have mercy on you. And they believe there are some good men. So maybe you can listen to our sisters. You can't listen to me because I say none. We have no good men. There are no good fathers. There are no good uncles and cousins. I say none. Actually, Deacon, I am done with the rough draft of the book, and we're gonna see about how we're gonna get it together. I hope that everything is done by the time that devil goes to trial so that we can take advantage of the publicity, the media that would be going towards his trial, and we do some other things. Also, I'm looking forward to working with our brother Astro Boo Baby on a single that was inspired by a dream that I had where I saw Michael Jackson actually singing this song, and I did my best to try to remember the lyrics and try to put that together. And that should be very interesting. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I also have about 3 topics that I wanted to talk about during the time I was working on my book, and we'll probably deal with those topics later on this week before I really get into doing this song with Astro Boo Baby. I want to do that and get that off the plate because that messes with me. I want to concentrate on doing that single. So if everything goes the way I want it, we're going to go well beyond this YouTube channel into places we've never been before. But of course, the ultimate goal, nothing can compare with taking control of a state. They have nothing. If we can't take control of the state, if we can't take control of resources, if we can't produce, if we can't make laws, if we can't show that we can govern and be independent ourselves, we're done. We're done. Subscribe to Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign. The link is in the description box. Late Night with Soul Sister Karen, 9:15 p.m. She won't be there tonight, but I do have a video that her and Sister Noble done early in the morning. We're going to play that instead of a live broadcast from Sister Karen tonight. Also support Sister Noble, her book, God is on Trial. The link is in the description box. Brother Maurice Muhammad, the Mississippi Initiative. Shout out to our family in Mississippi there. And we are just going to have to do what we can. Because I know I don't have any men to work with me. There are no men. Well, if there's no men, the men that work together, we understand our condition. And even though we cannot call ourselves full functioning men because we got a bunch of misfits as part of our gender, we're still going to push on and do the best we can. So at least when I go to my grave, at least when Brother Maurice go to our grave, Brother Taalik, at least when we go to our grave, we can say that we really tried. We knew what to do, but the reason why we was a failure, because our gender is a failure. That's why we failed. Because what we have, there's nothing better, and our ancestors was already doing it. And they would have been successful had it not been for domestic terrorism. This is a fact. but you have no men. You have no men willing to fight and sacrifice, use their brain, and if necessary, die in order for us to live. On that note, let me get out of here. Again, thank you for listening. Jot down your comments. And we'll catch you on the flip. As Don Cornelius always used to say as in parting, I wish us love, peace, and so we already 5,000.